Hey, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about humans, about people. Personally, I make mistakes all the time. I try not to. I have good intentions, but I'm still fallible because I'm still human. I don't know what everybody else is thinking, what they're wanting, how they're feeling. I can only see what's right in front of me. I pray I'm doing the right thing. But, of course, everybody's never going to agree with that. How many of y'all that's that same way? That seems like you mess up when you try and do the right things. Now, there's a lot of people that doesn't care about doing the right things as long as it gets them what they want. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones that's trying to do the right thing in general all around. So we have the same issue when we're trying to make excuses for ourselves. But when it comes to others, sometimes we don't make those same excuses. I wanted to touch on something the Bible tells us about the ones over us. In Romans 13, it says, "Let every person be in subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those which exist are established by God. Therefore, he who resists authority has opposed the ordinance of God, and they who have opposed will receive condemnation upon themselves. For rulers are not a curse of fear for good behavior, but for evil. Do you want to have no fear of authority? Do what is good, and you will have praise from the same. For it is a minister of God to you for good. But if you do what is evil, be afraid. For it does not bear the sword for nothing. For it is a minister of God, an avenger who brings wrath upon the one who practices evil." Those verses right there, it says there's no one that's put in power of leadership unless God has placed them there. Now, so here's my own feelings, my own thoughts from what I've gathered through my study. If you go through the whole Old Testament, you'll find that whenever the children of Israel was doing bad and turning their back away from God, he gave them evil leadership. I mean, by evil leadership, I'm talking about the ones that did not praise God, did not serve him, that was doing things such as human sacrifice and everything else. I'm talking about evil, that had no good intentions in their heart. When they turned from their evil way and they started going back to God and asking him to be the God of their land, then he gave them good leadership. Our nation is no different. If you think that you have a bad president, pray for them. This right here says, do not talk about them. Pray for them. Do not try to get someone that's going to do evil tactics just to get rid of them. Pray for them. They're human. They make mistakes. They make errors. But pray that the intention of the heart is pure and good and righteous, so that maybe, just maybe, everything else will follow when it comes to this nation. So maybe we can rise up again to serve God and be a great nation once more. Not fighting in the streets with one another. The ones that God places above us, we should not talk about, but we should pray for them. The ones that are evil, just imagine if their heart is changed, how much better it would be. Now, you can always pray different ways. You can pray that God will save them, God will help them make the right choices. Or you can pray that God heals the land, and if they're not making the right choices, that God removes them. But it does not give you any right to bash them if you claim to be a Christian, according to this. May God bless you. May this help you.